can see us?
Yes, hello everyone. Welcome back to Nothing Nerdy, and I'm here with the inspector.
Welcome to the final Mando Monday for a while.
Yes, I'm Mixie. Hello, how are you? Thank you for coming, our most loyal
We,
viewer.
uh, so that was a that felt short. It was like already one and done. Mandalorian.
Yeah, the season went by really quick. I don't know. I think for me because we had Bad Batch going at the same time. Um, for like 2 years, right? No, I'm not like I just left work. I know you did. I know, and I appreciate it. What do you mean for 2 years? I've known you longer than that. Um,
It's true. This whole Monday thing is a new thing for us.
yeah. Um, only 8 episodes, Um, the season felt very different.
hmm
I'm not saying I didn't like it. It was good. It was very different.
It
Um,
was it. It's like a lot happened in a short amount of time, and not a lot happened in a long period of time.
mhm. It's like I did enjoy each episode, but like I'm gonna kind of like give my own now that it's all done. I'm gonna kind of give my overall like opinion on it. It didn't have the same charm as the first 2 seasons, but again, everyone has different interests, in the
Mhm.
Star Wars universe. I
Yeah,
like the whole Jedi, you know, aspect of it. Grogu finding his way. Who is he going to end up with? What was
yeah.
his name? There was a whole mystery behind
There was
him.
a mystery and a journey to
Yeah,
that.
and there was something very just mystical and charming about that. And as watching their relationship grow between
Mm,
Mando and Grogu. And
yeah.
this season, they both took a back seat.
It kind of didn't really have anything to do. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is like we it's like what we it was one of those things where we knew Grogu and Din were gonna separate it, and it was kind of like not really looking forward to, but not really dreading that either, sort of a thing. But it was just that we knew that it was gonna happen, and
Yeah.
then this we didn't really know. We didn't have that. We just had no idea what was gonna happen to Grogu or Din or like this was this was not that Din wasn't like involved a lot. He was definitely heavily involved, but yeah, this was more about Mandalorians as a whole. I guess
Yeah.
you could say
Which
the
still
whole
works because the title is The Mandalorian, you know. I mean,
yeah.
it works. But yeah,
It-
like Bo-Katan was kind of like the main character this season, and it was about the Mandalorians, like you said, as a whole,
Reuniting
reuniting,
everybody.
yeah, reclaiming Mandalore, which we love. Like, of course, we want to see that. Like, that's
Yeah,
awesome that we got to see that on screen,
and
whatever.
it nobody died
I
except for
know.
Paz and I mean, except for Paz who's last episode, and Gideon.
Hmm.
Those are the only characters that died. Everybody else lived, and there were no spies. There were no traitors.
I know. I was like, and even when the episode ended, I was like, oh well, maybe we'll find out next season. But yeah, I guess not. Like, this maybe there was no spy. There was just this.
I think we just took the spies from what I've heard, I think the spies was like a reference to other things or other kinds of references.
Hmm.
But it didn't mean literally any traitor spies. It didn't mean that
Yeah.
kind of spy, I guess.
But still, like one of the Mandalorians had to break out Grief Cart. Sorry, Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon.
Um, but again, maybe they were being framed. They like that was kind of left unanswered.
I think it was the dark. I think it was those troopers, like those Beskar wearing troopers, was the ones that freed him.
Oh, you're right. And their armor was made out of Beskar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. So then that's resolved. Okay, then that makes sense.
I mean, okay, they got time to grow. They need time to grow. They have to grow up. We'll see him next season. When like watch that kid that got snatched by the bird is now going to be riding one of those birds.
I hope they were nice to those birds. That made me sad.
But yeah, there was no. Which I will say, I'm glad this happened. There was no like cameo surprise. It was just the Mandalorians on their own, doing what they
Yeah.
intended to do and saving and winning this war, winning this battle for them.
Yeah, but like what you were saying about like nobody died. It's okay. So I went into this expecting somebody's got to die. Like anybody. Like even if it was just one
I
of the
mean,
Mandalorians that I wasn't too attached to. Like someone's going to die. Because it, technically happened on the Bad Batch. Technically technically. We don't believe he's really dead.
Technically.
We're in denial. We're holding on to the fact that he's still alive. But it's still crushing. So I went into this, they're going to do the same thing to us. This is the new standard. And nobody died. Nobody pretended to die.
New standard. This has been the standard for a while. It's just.
And then I got
rarely.
pissed. Like, honestly, I'm a little pissed. I'm like, how come the Mandalorian gets a happy ending, but the Bad Batch gets screwed over?
Do you want Din to die, or Bo-Katan to die, or Grogu to
but
die?
like, if Tech dies, there needs to be sacrifices, okay? All of you are going to suffer. If I have to suffer, if me and my Bad Batch people, if we have to suffer, then the rest of you have to suffer too.
Okay, IG-12 died. But he became IG-11 again, so it's like a death and a resurrection in the same thing.
He's risen.
No, I'm kind of sad that we lost Grogu's mech already. Like, he doesn't get that. He doesn't get to, like, pilot that thing anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But this was honestly, this was a really... the thing is, I think we were surprised at how simple this finale was compared to all the build-up, and it was still really well made and really it was a good like action finale and a good I kind of hope this is the end of Gideon, but at the same time this could be maybe Gideon left a clone behind. And
yeah, when I watched the episode, I was like, oh great, he's dead. I mean, I was sad because I was like, oh, I like the actor, but like, all right, it's good. Yeah. He's a bad guy. He's dead. Whatever. Yeah. But then I think I was on Twitter the other day and someone had made that comment like, oh, maybe it was one of his clones, and I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. Like, I mean, I was having this conversation with somebody today, and like, it doesn't make too much sense. Why would they go through all that for it just to be a clone? Especially when the series might be ending soon. Like, we might not get season 4 if they're just going to do a movie. Like, they're building up to Thrawn. So Thrawn's the next villain. Like, why would they continue with Grief? I'm sorry, with Gideon.
Carlo Esposito, Moff Gideon. Yeah. I think I've heard that they're working on season 4. That's in writing. It's just, it's taking a backseat because Ahsoka and all the other shows are going to take like priority first before Mandalorian. I think we're on a Mandalorian break, sort of a thing. Like, Din and Grogu. We might not see Din and Grogu again until like maybe years later. And
but that's
Grogu's
what they do.
Like,
it's like, oh, season 1, 5 years later. Season 2, 5 years later. Like they just there is no consistency with the Mandalorian, which is kind of a joke. But yeah.
Like technically now we're 8 years past Return of the Jedi, which is crazy. In canon, when was Ben born? When was Kylo Ren born?
Oh,
was he like?
I don't know.
Because he would be alive. He would be alive now during this period if he's like 30 or something, and Force Awakens takes place like 30 years.
30 years later. So maybe he's like
a kid, a baby at this point.
No, he wouldn't be born yet. Soon though.
Wait,
I'm assuming he's like.
Doesn't Leia's?
I'm assuming they're like 18, 19, 20 in The Force Awakens.
I thought Kylo was like.
I don't know his age.
In his almost in his like late 20s. Like he was almost 30 in this for him.
I never asked.
Which is gonna make it interesting.
We'll have to look it up.
He's almost. Huh?
I said I never asked him. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, because Adam Driver's like almost 30.
Yeah, but I don't think they're the same age as the actor. It's like.
Yeah.
Usually they are aged down.
I think Han's like still the same age as Harrison Ford, and Leia is the same. Like everybody was like around the same age, except for I think Mark Hamill was like 20 something when he was playing like 19-year-old Luke.
All right, I'm looking.
We're looking this up.
How old?
What year was Kylo? What ABY was Kylo Ren born?
I'll look that up too. According to many sources, so nothing official. Oh, okay, you're right. According to many sources, Kylo Ren is about 29 or 30, while Rey is 19. Rey was born 11 years after the Battle of Endor. Kylo Ren was probably conceived right after the Battle of Endor by Han and Leia.
Yeah, right. He kind of was conceived on that like Star Cruiser
Well, I mean,
in the
this is coming
honeymoon
from
suite.
how do you say Quora, whatever. This also says 29. Yeah.
Where were we going with this? Oh, it's like Kylo Ren's alive during this period of 8 years. Kylo's like 7 or 6 years old by this point.
Faceman Buddha, hello, how are you? Yep, May the 4th.
Yeah, we're getting
likes them young and on a table. That's just weird because, like, I mean, it's not weird. Like, listen, I don't.
Technically, she kissed him. Okay, she's the one that was.
I mean, personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with age gaps. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, probably, you know, men mature later. Sorry, so they're probably close in age. In another way, you know, in other ways, mentally is what I mean. Yeah. But like, I think of myself at like, you know, oh wait, I'm not supposed to say my age, but like, let's say I was at some point 29, you know, I would not be dealing with like, I don't even like working with people younger than me because they're all a bunch of little shits and they think they know everything. I'm sorry. So like, the fact that he had a thing for somebody 10 years younger than him, I don't know.
I mean, it's not like he was 40 or 50 going after her.
No, I know, but at that age, like, mentally, there's a gap there.
Yeah, there is.
Because when you're 19, you're a teenager. Like, you're a teenager. You think you know everything. At 19, you know nothing. And at 29, 30...
Technically, I think Rey was probably about like 20. Because it was a year past
19.
Force Awakens. I mean, it's still an age gap, but yeah.
And at 29, 30, you know, you're older and wiser. I mean, Kylo Ren was stupid. I just, you know...
Hang on.
But then again, men like younger women.
I just realized something.
What?
How old is Din?
Like, I'm assuming they're all in their 40s. No, he would have to be older than that.
No. 50? Let's see. Din was a kid during Clone Wars.
Right.
He was probably like, I think, at least 8. So... Okay.
In his 40s.
Almost. Yeah. He's almost 50, I'll say. Or 50 or 40, almost. He's definitely younger than Grogu, which is the funny thing. But...
It's more because they are a dyad, which means they are twins. Yeah, but there are some people who, like, I'm just, like, there are people who, you know, ship them or whatever. Like, I never understood that, but some people are into that. I'm personally not. So it never did anything for me.
People.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm like, not 50, but I'm definitely attracted to some, like, very, very attractive. Like... I mean, look at Bo-Katan. This episode, like, man, she was fierce.
Oh yeah, this whole season, but yeah, this episode, yeah, she's been amazing. Don't put that on men, Frankie. Women like older men. We do, because
you expect maturity out of the older.
Yes, but I'm speaking from experience. The ones that are younger than me. Oh my god. Not all of them. I'm not saying all of them, but the ones who are younger.
What? Okay.
You need to be mothered, and I'm
watching another show that has a thing about an age gap. Except it's like, oh, I'll have to show it to you one day. Yeah, the girl really likes her being older.
We like older men. We do like older men. Some of us like older men. Some of us like younger men. I don't. Not that I guess it depends on the person. But I'm just saying, like.
My point. Okay, I think my point is basically: is Bo-Katan like 10 years older than Din?
No,
she's like in her 20s or something.
No, actually, she's not.
Yeah, she was definitely in her 20s during the Clone Wars.
Oh, but not now.
Well, no, but I mean, Din was a kid during the Clone Wars. Bo-Katan was like an adult during the Clone Wars. So.
How old?
So
is
Bo has definitely got like a
Bo-Katan
decade or more over Din.
Mandalorian. Although Sackhoff herself is 42, she believes Bo-Katan is a little older. Speaking at a roundtable event in 2023, she suggests Bo-Katan is probably in her late 40s or early 50s. How old is Din?
Even if Bo-Katan was 18 during Death Watch period, Din was still 8.
Yeah, assuming Din Djarin was around 8 or 10 years old in the flashback, he would be about 36 to 38 years old in The Mandalorian Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Okay. She's an older woman. He likes older women.
I mean, you saw Din. You saw his pledge of allegiance to.
I pledge allegiance to Bo-Katan.
Of the Mandalorian.
Her song is not yet written. Not in real life. Pedro was not 38, but we don't have to see his face, so his alter ego is 38.
I mean, once you're like in your 40s and 50s, that age gap doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Because like that doesn't matter. That's not. I was just thinking about that. Like, wait, like there is an age gap between them.
I feel like this has turned into like a relationship podcast.
I was like, hang on. So we have older Mambo, younger dad Din, and older than both of them son like Grogu.
Mm-hmm. Pedro poses like he is 18 though.
Oh yeah, you're talking about, like
that Esquire.
Like, Pedro is like a mature man, but an immature like child.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When you get older, you start to sink back into your childhood self because you just like you miss it. It's like you no longer. I guess also if you had kids in your 20s, you don't have kids anymore, so you're now free to be a little more like less parenty, more your old self.
As long as your wife doesn't have to parent you.
Says that. Like who says she doesn't have to? Just two. I'm trying to think of a good segue.
What the hell else happened in this episode? Okay, so we saw Moff Gideon's clones.
Yeah, he was cloning himself. He was trying to like that we were talking about last episode was the whole like did he clone himself? Is that what he's talking about? It's like, yeah, he is doing that. He's making Force clones. He's making some Force clones too. Which I gotta say, I wonder like what was his plan after that? Like say like you have a bunch of Force clones. How do you control that? Do you have inhibitor chips? Maybe I guess he had inhibitor chips.
There would have to be because would they overpower him or something? I don't know. Talk to my brother's wife. She routinely calls my brother and I a bunch of dorks. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with being fun and silly.
You can't. There's no point in being grown up. You can't be childish sometimes.
Right. Like, listen, me too. Of course. But as long as she doesn't have to raise him, you know? What?
I see your whole back room behind you. All your toys.
Listen. But I'm mature about it.
She says.
Pay no attention to the box of Bad Batch stuff behind in the corner. But I saw that box.
Do we talk about the body pillow?
The body pillow. Listen, everybody needs somebody to snuggle with. I have nobody to snuggle with, okay? So I can get the next best thing. A Hunter body pillow. I have needs. And he doesn't talk back, okay?
God, I just saw a meme. It's like 2 years relationship going so great, not one single argument, and it shows a pillow.
It's true.
Oh my gosh, my cheeks hurt.
I know, my eyes are watering from laughing so much. Can they make a body pillow with Mando on one side and Hunter on the other?
Yeah, they could. Now, Nerdy's probably like it's probably gonna have the the bathing Mando on the other side.
The one bath
Helmet
we took
only.
in months. Listen, I have a different relationship with all the Star Wars men. Hunter is more snuggleable.
You know what? We need to do that. We need to that could be the next. Maybe I don't know. We missed Valentine's, but we could do another smash or pass for Star Wars characters.
But I need. Well, some of them I would like.
Or we could do you just snuggle, smash,
Yeah, we got to throw snuggle in there. Some are smashable.
It's like date, marry, eliminate or something.
I don't want to eliminate anybody unless they're bad guys. You never know what you need on which night. Exactly. I have different needs depending on the day.
But yeah, so Din and Grogu find the clones. Grogu rescues Din from his capture. I gotta say, I was definitely surprised. You said nothing bad. I was surprised how easily everybody dealt with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Also, R5 was very important to this whole endeavor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he had his own battle with the mice police, the mouse droid police.
Oh, that was funny. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he held his own. He's finally having his moment.
Which pass on. Other. You know what? Yeah, we definitely need to make that video, that stream one day. It was just collect characters.
I wonder if somebody has a video on YouTube where just pictures just kind of pop up and you get to do it.
Mm. But yeah, so after taking out the clones, Din finally meets with Moff Gideon, and they have a fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's pretty intense in that suit, that armor.
I think he was very much enhanced. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, part of me thinks did he have cybernetics or something? You get droid parts on him.
Yeah.
Because I mean this is it makes me really sad. He broke the Darksaber. The Darksaber's destroyed.
That was Luke in the hell was that movie? The Last Jedi, throwing a lightsaber over the thing, and I'm like, are you kidding? You can't do that.
That's ancient. That thing's who knows how many, at least 1,000 years old or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dang. Yeah, it was Iron. Again, I feel like this is Jon Favreau coming back with his Iron Man roots for all of this. But yeah, okay. At the very least, maybe they give Grogu the Darksaber crystal, and he can wield
the lightsaber. Yeah,
the reforged Darksaber. Because again, I think this is leading to Grogu being the mythosaur Mandalore that rules for 1,000 years.
That would be awesome.
Because he can live for 1,000 years, so he could rule. Which I will say, okay. So remember in Rise of Skywalker when I think it was said that we saw Mando's ship in the whole sea of ships and everything, which was at the time the Razor Crest, which now does not exist anymore.
Maybe he gets a new ship that's the same.
A new Razor Crest. But yeah, he now that I think about it, we only got 1 or 2 scenes with his Starfighter. I don't think his Starfighter didn't come back for the finale.
Yeah.
Commando a Gauntlet. Yeah, Gauntlet. The whole time I was scared. Is the armor the traitor? Is Axe Woves the traitor? Who's the bad guy on our side here?
Mm-hmm.
So when Axe flies up and alerts the fleet, and lets everybody know, and then says, "All right, everybody, get off, get off. I'm gonna take control." Or something. I was like, "Oh no, is he gonna start blasting them with the ship after he takes it over?"
Oh, see, I didn't think that. I thought he was just going to go down with the ship and, like, And then I was like, why are you doing that? That's so stupid. And then he flew out at the last minute. And I was like, oh, okay.
Like, I'm not that stupid.
I hate it when they do stupid, unnecessary deaths. I mean,
somebody has to adopt Ragnar Vizsla. take Paz's This is how Mandalorians work.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it was like it's kind of interesting how they just. I mean, it's a funny sacrifice, but yeah, how we had a Mando fleet, and how we just just destroyed it.
Mm-hmm. What was the explanation that you heard as to why he needed to stay on the ship? I mean, did he needed to control it in case it went off course? Like, I thought you could do autopilot, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think it makes sense that he was trying to. Again, he was trying to make it a decoy so everybody believed it was, some people were operating the ship so that they would take it down. But also he could guide it to crash into the which I guess it's interesting how technically he has no idea about what's going on down there. So but I guess when he finally came through, he was like, "Hey, what's going on? Okay, I'm bringing the stuff and get out of there. I'm going to destroy this base." Which I will say was a very, very smart move to. If you're going down, you're going to take down the ship. At least destroy the Imperials with it.
He could warn them until he took the ship past the clouds. Oh, he couldn't warn them until. Oh, I got you. If they didn't confirm with him, then he could have turned the ship.
Also, he probably needed some protection. Because if he jumped out sooner, TIE fighters could have picked him off or something.
True. Yeah.
So, he basically, I like how they brought back Moff Gideon, like Moff Gideon's own ship is what destroys him. And yeah, and I did like how, again, this very like rough and tumble fight that they have. Like with Moff Gideon and Bo and Din, and then of course the Praetorian guards. How I like how Grogu and him had to work together to take those guys out, and it was really cool seeing Grogu more or less like mess with them, kind of just like go after him, he knocks them over, he sees their weapon, like, nope, you don't get that. But Din had to. It was really that was a cool like scene of teamwork and taking how those guards were still nasty and we needed the Force to stop them. And then Bo, Din, and even Grogu worked together to take out Gideon, along with to at least hold him there until the ship destroys him, which. It's like you got Beskar armor. That's not gonna save you from an explosion. And then we get Grogu saving Din and Bo from the explosion. A very, very beautiful moment. It's like it gave me. I'm pretty sure I don't know. I'm like not say it was intentional, but it's very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy vibes in the end when. Like Groot saves everybody.
Oh, I remember that scene. He makes like the little branches.
Little cocoon,
I forgot about that.
It was very, very similar kind of music too. It's like, it was beautiful. They said, there was no sacrifice in that. For Grogu's just powerful enough to. He's grown stronger.
But it made me think of Kanan, like when Kanan died.
Yeah.
And like there was like the explosion, whatever. I watched the episode once. I can't watch it again. But there was like the explosion. He was holding it off
Ezra
so that they could get out. But like, why not then just make a bubble around yourself so that you survive? If that's a thing you can do, why couldn't he do that?
Look, Grogu has 50 more years than Kanan had. Okay, so he's not.
But I think of Kanan as a very wise and powerful Jedi. Like he could have done that. It's just writing convenience. We need to kill him off. We need Grogu to survive. So it's going to work for Grogu and it's not going to work for Kanan. It just pisses me off.
Yeah, I know. It is funny that Grogu the baby is able to hold back a bigger explosion. But it was a
That was
huge
massive. I was
explosion.
like, there's no way they're gonna survive that.
I did think for a second, like, did they just kill off Grogu, Din, and Bill in the same time? Like, that would have been brutal. Doom. And then, yeah, afterward, well, I mean, we won. We beat the Empire here at least, and have regained Mandalore, and none of the it's like basically the Mandalorians are united now. Like nobody's like you have to wear a helmet or you don't have to wear a helmet. You can do whatever you want, I guess. Whichever way you want to be.
You can walk whatever way you think is the way.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end, what was that little kid's name again? I know we just met
Ragnar.
Yeah, Ragnar. So at the end, you know, like at the end, they're all united, whatever, and he has like his little ceremony, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting some emotion. This kid lost his father, right? And I don't just mean emotion from him. I mean just the vibe of the whole thing should have been a little bit more somber. He just lost his dad, and like he's having to walk the way alone. I mean, obviously not alone. He has his, you know, Mandalorian brothers and sisters, but like he lost his dad, and I didn't sense any sadness from him or just the whole vibe in general. Like, I don't know. I felt like that should have been more of a significant moment.
I feel like this is just the Mandalorian way. He died in battle, so it's not like a sad thing.
Kid's gonna need therapy when he's older. At some point, he might leave the culture.
Look at Din. Din's maybe needs therapy, but look at
If they don't do sadness...
They lost a lot of Mandos to birds and they didn't care. I mean, heck, Ragnar, like, was just like, my son's taken. I'm out of fuel. Oh, well. Something. So, you think he's gonna care that...
I mean, I realize I'm totally overanalyzing this, and there's this a whole other fake galaxy, okay? But, like, you know when you get older and you reflect on your childhood and you realize, oh, that thing that happened, that was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, when some of these people get older, they might start to realize, like, oh, this is kind of messed up. I went along with this. This isn't really good. Or this doesn't really, you know, vibe with me anymore. Like, maybe I should no longer walk the way. I don't know.
I think that will be
Ragnar needs
something. Yes, I think that will be. I do find that interesting how there was, like, we kept talking, like, is the way going to be challenged this season, and it really wasn't. It's more of like, I don't want to say embraced, but accepted, I guess, is the thing.
The way it's expanding.
Yeah.
See who got Ragnar as an apprentice?
Was it
who?
Axe? Did Axe get Ragnar? Because I think that would have been kind of poetic. Did
I miss a detail?
Yeah, Axe Wolves gets to teach Ragnar. You know, like he's got another dad now. He's got his second dad.
It's just still sad and odd.
And yeah, then we try to get Grogu like initiated. And
that was so.
They're still like, he can't speak. He lost his talking droid.
Yeah.
So. But even still, it's like we don't even have a helmet. Like, we gotta make him a helmet. But it's interesting. It was interesting. I was like, okay, so he's not part of us yet, but he can still be taken as an apprentice and taught the way, and then he can become, you know, like a helmeted Mandalorian someday still, but he's now part of the family. So Din adopts him. And I thought it was interesting that they go by, I guess, their last name first, or their house name first, or something like.
Yeah.
Maybe. I guess maybe not all the time, but it's more like House Din.
Yeah.
Like House Vizsla, House Catan.
Mm-hmm.
Or Kryze. Or was it Catan Kryze or something?
Kryze, yeah. I think.
Grogu with a jetpack. Yeah, Grogu probably, like, I mean, his jetpack would be really small. Yeah, very similar to Eastern culture. Saying the last name.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, to say somebody's first name, you have to know them more personally, to know them more intimately or familiarly, to be on a first name basis with most people, is how it is over there.
I thought it was really interesting that, again, different world, different galaxy, different, like, fictional. It's fictional. But, like, I thought it was really interesting that to adopt him, all he had to do was just claim it. Like, I am adopting him, and that was it. Like, in our reality, in our world...
There's papers for this.
I need $50,000, I need you to sign some papers, I need blood work, I need your work, your pay stubs, but that just made me wonder, does it depend on, in that world, does it depend on the planet? Does every planet do something different? Like, what did Bail Organa do to adopt Leia? I mean, obviously, they really couldn't do anything official because, but, like, was it just a matter of claiming we will adopt her as our own? Like, is that how
I think
it's done?
It's like, in a weird way, Star Wars, again, is, like, set in, like, a time before... it does depend, I guess it depends on where you are at, because I'm pretty sure things on Coruscant act as things would here in a more, like,
structured,
paper, civilized, record-keeping sort of thing, whereas Mandalore, or at least in the outer rim of things, things probably work more like how it worked, like, 200 years ago when there was no, like, record keeping. It's just like, okay, well, I'm taking you in as to raise you, and you can technically be my son.
Yeah, like, when he said he was going to adopt when he said he was going to adopt him, I expected the armorer to be like, you can't just adopt him. I thought there was going to be some pushback, but she was like, okay.
I get, it's very interesting that they don't even, like, it. It is weird now that I think about it, but we don't. I mean, most of the Mandalorians we see have helmets, but I wonder how many of the Mandalorians are not human. Like, if any of the ones are, like, alien, what other alien Mandalorians they have? Because Grogu is the only one we know of.
I like this. No way Mando passes supervised visits, taking him to pilot bars to get work.
No, Grogu is over 21. Okay,
so then he can't be adopted. Mando.
I also like how. I like how the armor is like, he's like, Din's like, would his parent, could his parent, like, do the whole initiation thing for him or something, like, and she's like, his parents aren't here. And I'm just like, his parent, he's an alien. Of course his parents aren't. He's talking about himself. He is dad. Like, he is parent. They basically more or less just confirmed what we already knew. Which is that, I like how Grogu is he's almost trying to say, it's like, he's trying to speak like, this is
this is the way, Dad.
But yeah, now Grogu also connects with the Mythosaur a little bit. We get another sneak peek at it. And then Bo and the armor light the forges, so they were able to make new Beskar, whatever future Mandalore, rebuild Mandalore is the future now. And Din goes to the New Republic to basically take on any missions or something like that, future bounty hunting missions, or capture things, and he's going to be taking the baby with him.
His son.
I mean, okay, technically Grogu's a war veteran now, too. So,
yep.
He's like a war veteran of, like, 3 wars.
He's been through it all.
And so we rebuild IG again.
Mm-hmm. And now he's the
That's
greeter.
Yep, we have IG being a police droid.
Mm-hmm.
And Din now takes Din has a home. Din has a little, like, he's renting
Settling
a little
down.
apartment now.
Yep.
And he's got a little pond with frogs for Grogu to play with.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. I was like, oh god, is he gonna eat the frog? Please don't eat the frog. Come on.
And that was then we had that little moment, and that's the end of. I'm gonna say this is like Act 1 of The Mandalorian,
Did not eat the frog.
or maybe like something, but it's like feels like goodbye for now. Like this is the closing on Din and Grogu for a while, and maybe they'll show up in future cameos.
Yep.
Take over somebody else's show.
Ahsoka.
Maybe they'll show up like for 2 episodes in the Ahsoka show.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Show up for, maybe they'll show up in Skeleton Crew. Take over 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew.
Take over it all.
And
Ugh.
dog.
No, my phone.
Oh.
I'll get that when we're done.
But yeah, so that was season 3 of The Mandalorian, and that was I would say, yeah, it was definitely not as, it was a little messier than the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this was mostly because things got arranged. Like, this is like behind the scenes IRL, things got, a little bit of chaos happened behind the scenes with like Rangers of the New Republic and The Mandalorian getting like story in Book of Boba Fett, which is completely separate from Mandalorian. So it's like they're trying to, I guess, put a new set to jumping off point. So we will see whatever the future with those characters are in the future with that. So yeah, this is more like, I guess, a makeup season. And now we'll have to figure out what happens to the Darksaber, because I guess it's in a way where it was like them showing that you don't need the Darksaber to rule anymore. That we're not going to rule by the Darksaber. We're not going to follow. You don't have to wear a helmet to be part of the way, or maybe you do have to wear. But you walk both worlds if you want to. So there is more than one way.
Yeah.
Like new Mandalorians on the horizon.
Yep.
And yeah, now we wait for Ahsoka and Visions and any other Star Wars stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, no Thrawn cameo. I thought I was expecting like an after credits scene too, like an Ahsoka prepare. No.
I guess they're saving him for Ahsoka then, the big surprise.
Yep.
Yeah, no more Dr. Crusher.
Surprise! It's pretty much in the promotional.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else? Yeah, I'm just waiting for Visions and Ahsoka and Jedi Survivor, and that's our Star Wars future for now. Which, looking forward to them. Visions is Jedi Survivor is this week. This Friday, I think, yep. Visions is the week after that, May 4th. Or is May 4th? No, that's a Thursday, isn't it? Yeah. And then we wait for August.
Yep.
Yeah. That's going to be fun.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't really have anything else.
All right. Well, yeah, me neither.
Guess we should prepare for the smash and pass.
Yes.
Discussion.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for watching. aka Mixie.
Hope you all enjoyed.
For those of you watching back, we appreciate it. I gotta go deal with this. All right, I hope everybody has a great rest of the evening, and we will catch you all on the next stream. Bye, everybody.